Lately I've been thinking, what makes a car a great car? Uh, there's a ton of cars on the road. They're all designed for basically similar situations. They're designed to carry people. They're designed to be uh, to have proper utility. They're designed to get you from A to B. But what makes a good car a great car? And I think nowadays you have to go and really narrow it down to a few things. You got resale value. You have looks. It's got to look decent. You have to have low maintenance costs over time, because that's very important. Miles per gallon. And I think that overall just makes a car great. You see, the Corolla doesn't pretend to be something it's not. And I think that's why I find it so cool. And that's why I recommend it to everyone that asks me what car I should get, or, overall, I think it's just a good car. It has these awesome headlights. I believe they updated them for this model year. This is a 2022, and they have LED all throughout, so you can see all the LEDs all throughout. And it looks good when you turn it on. Moving over to the side, and you have 15-inch wheels. And on top of that, it's plastic on alloy. They're not even steelies under here. They're alloy. And to replace them is going to be really cheap. So, really, what are you complaining about? If you move on and we open it, come on into the inside, and again, no frills, nothing crazy, everything where it should be. Air vent here. You have this cool line that they put here that adds a little bit of, effect. But they didn't even have to do that. They could have just made it straight, and you pretty much would have had, airplane. Okay. They could have made it just a straight situation here, and no one would have noticed or cared, but they added a little detail, and that's pretty cool. And one more important thing is, car seat. It fits. This is a rear facing, which is, for any parent, we know that it's the worst positioning, but best as far as safety. And you can actually fit two over here. Depending how tall you are, you might struggle a little bit with the front. But as far as the back goes, it doesn't get much easier than that. Here's the thing. Usually when you have a car seat in the back, there's usually a struggle to get into the front seat, and it's not so much a case for the Corolla. It's got plenty of room. Watch this. As a 6'4" human, I could tell you, I got plenty of room. My head's being cut off by the camera, but there's still plenty of room here. I'm good. We're not doing any long distance road trips. I'm not setting any records here, but it works. Well, there's room in the front, room in the back. Watch this. There's room in the trunk. No junk in this trunk, but there's plenty of room. Just for example, this is huge. It's hard to grasp. I don't have anything to really throw in here to show, but it's got a ton of room. And if you really wanted to get just a tad more, this lighting is terrible. That sun is right in my face. If you wanted to take it a step further and you want put something a little longer in there, watch this. You could. Obviously, I can't do it on that side, and I might not be able to do this with one hand. Maybe I'm just weak, or maybe I'm just operating it incorrectly. It's a button that presses down. It's a button. Anyways, you have now all this room. Check that out. And that side obviously would open, but I have the car seat there, so that's not gonna happen right now. Pop it up. I'll jump in the back for perspective. Okay, just again. Let me see. Okay, so back here it's a squeeze. I'm not gonna lie, this is tight. I'm 6'4". This couldn't work on a long road trip. No way, no. But it could work if you're smaller than 6 foot, maybe. I think there's plenty of room back here if you're smaller. My knees aren't hitting the front, which is good. My knees don't hit, and that's set at my seating level. So if you're 6'4" with slightly longer legs but a shorter torso, I think that might work. move on into the inside. And, well, okay, that's not gonna work. I mean, the sun could cooperate with me a little bit. Okay, is that a good spot? Is that a good spot? Okay, here we go. Move on to the inside. And you see, I still have a good amount of headroom here. I mean, it's fine. Most cars, I'm a little closer than this. These don't come with sunroofs, so if you want a sunroof, that's out. But they don't come with sunroofs, and I'm okay. I fit in it. I'm not complaining. I actually like cars with no sunroofs because then I get to fit. If we hit it on, boom. Cool little display. Again, no frills. I mean, this is even frills. This is even cool. I mean, you get a cool, like, display here. It says 160. I highly doubt this is going 160 miles an hour, but I guess that's for the wishful thinkers. Okay. 121 horsepower, 105 foot-pounds of torque. I don't think that's going to take you all the way there, but it has lane departure. It has lane keep assist. It has things like active cruise control, so if you're cruising, it'll actually show you the, the distance you can stay between you and the person in front, which is cool. And it'll brake for you. I was in this in stop and go traffic, and I had no complaints. Pretty much be the perfect commuter. It just does it. It's sweet. The infotainment here comes with Apple CarPlay Standard and Android Auto now, but this is pretty simple as well. I mean, this is in the Camry, I believe, and maybe the RAV4, maybe, where it looks like this, where it has this kind of tablet display here. If you hit this, it's cool to watch. You get to see how the engine powers the battery and the electric motor and all that works all together, and that's pretty cool. And you even got the time. So you can't lose track of appointments when you got the time right there, if you're focused. And there, these buttons here, you have the drive mode button, just in case you want to get crazy and put in sport mode. I believe that puts in sport. Yes, you have eco. Wow, the focus is terrible. Eco, regular, and power, which I guess would be sport. And then you have the traction control button up here, and EV mode. From my understanding, you can put it in EV mode if you're running out of juice or gas, whatever the case is, and it'll make sure you have a little more distance to go. And I think the Corolla, that's what it is. It's just a car. It's a car that just is going to be a car in the best way possible. And there's no complaints. I don't see anybody complaining about anything other than maybe some cargo room. You can use a little more space, get an SUV. But if you want something A to B, fits your groceries in the back, you can even put kids back here, this is going to do it. No complaints. Alright, let's take the Corolla for a little drive and I'll get to show you why it's so good of a car. A lot of people say the Corolla Hybrid's boring, but I don't believe it. And I don't believe any car is really boring. Yeah, by modern standards, 121 horsepower and 105 foot-pounds of torque isn't fast, but it's not boring. You can still take it through windy roads and you could still have a decent amount of fun with it. Yeah, you're not going to be going through it at a quick pace, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can't have fun. Now, one of the key points with the Corolla Hybrid and pretty much any Toyota is the resale value. If you go check any car selling website, and you're going to find that any Toyota, any used Toyota is wildly expensive. I mean, by expensive, I simply mean that they don't depreciate that much. You could take and you could drive these cars for a relatively low cost. They don't require a lot to maintain.
Toyota has a great track record with just having reliable cars that you just don't have to sit here and worry, is it going to break? Is this valve going to do this in the engine? Is the transmission going to blow at 60,000 miles? They'll just keep running. There's a million-mile Toyotas out there, and that's just Toyota's thing. The Prius is a great car, but it doesn't look as cool. And it has this weird stigma in movies that it's just not cool. I mean, it's like a nerdy, quirky, scientific, sci-fi car, and not a lot of people like it for that. So for Toyota to sit here and put that same powertrain in the Corolla, that's a bold move, and I think it works perfectly. So you see, for anyone really looking for a car, this is a car. And I would almost say it is the perfect car because it hits every point of what makes a car a great car just right. And I don't know, if you ever get a chance to, I would say drive one, and I think that'll really change your mind on hybrids.